Hi, everyone. Welcome back to CI Math 389. Today, we will discuss graphing linear equations. Now, here is a problem, like you want to graph y equal 2x plus 3. And how we graph this, all right? There are several steps we can do. And number one, we would make a columns. So we will make a column like this, here is x, here's y, okay? So y equal 2x plus 3, like this, okay? So one column for x, the other column for y. So next, I will pick the following value, okay? Pick the following value, all right? You pick out the value, easy to calculate. You can pick up any point you want, okay? And you just pick up the value is easy to plug in, okay, to calculate, okay? So here is example, if I pick up I always start with a 0, okay? If I started with 0, if x is equal 0, then I plug in 0 there, okay? So 2x, which is 2 times 0 plus 3, so actually is a 3, so 0, 3. So x is equal 0 and y is equal 3, right? Now if I pick up the negative 2, then I will find it out, 2 times the negative 2 plus 3, and then finally I get the negative 1 for y. Similar, if I pick up the 2, right? 2 times 2 plus 3, which is 2 times 2 plus 3, which is equal 7, okay? So we have 2, 7, right? Coordinate 2, 7. Now if I pick up the negative 4, and I will get a negative 5, okay? So this is, we will label the column, and we will pick out the value, and then make complete the table for x and y value, okay? And once we have a coordinate for x and y, then let's see, we can plot the points on a graphing paper, okay? So now here, if I have a 0, if I have a 0, and which is equal 1, 2, 3, right here, 0, 3. If I have a 2, right? If I have a 2, 1 and 2, and that'll be 2, 7, right? If I have a negative 2 right here, negative 2, and I have negative 1, so they're right here, right here. If I have a negative 4, then I have a negative 5 for y, all right? So now I plot a point, okay? And then the final step, just connect all the line together, and then this is how we graph in a linear equation, all right? So here you might have a question, do we need to have a plot, find so many value there? No, actually, 2, value, is fair enough to determine a line, right? And then maybe third one, we can double check the line, is on the line or not. So actually, minimum, you have to pick up 2, okay? So in this example, probably I'll just pick, I will just do 0 and 2, and then I can do I can graph a line like this, all right? Okay, this is how we graph in a line, okay? Very simple and easy, right? And next, I want to talk about solving linear inequality, okay? Solving linear inequality. So solving linear inequality, right? So here, some symbol I need to introduce. Number one is less than, okay? This is called a less than, right? And then greater than, this is a greater than, okay? Or more than, we can say more than, okay? And this is a less than or equal to. So this is less than or equal to, okay? The next one, or we can say no more than, okay? The next one is greater than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, or at least, okay? So this is all the symbol for inequality symbol, okay? All right, now look at this true statement. Suppose we multiply both sides by -1, all right? What happened? If phi is greater than 3, all right? Phi greater than 3, and then if both multiply by -1, what happened? So this change -5, this one change as -3, right? Now what about symbol? Symbol we have to switch, right? We have to switch. All right, we have to flip So actually is if I multiply by 1, okay, this is -5, this is -3. So, you know, which one is greater? Now, change -3 is greater than -5, right? So here is gotta be careful about this, you know. When you multiply an inequality by a negative number, it changes the direction of the inequality. This is also true if you divide a negative, all right? You divide. Either you divide or you multiply, all right? You multiply or you divide, all right? A negative. Then what happened? You have to flip, okay? You have to flip the sign, okay? So like this, you know, negative, we have 5 and 3, right? And then you times -1 for both, -1 for both. This is 5 is greater than 3, right? Now what happened is you know, we times -1 for both, then change this one is -5, this is -3. So therefore, -5 is less than -3, right? This is the same thing if we do the division, okay? So let's do a couple example, you know, you will understand more for this. All right. Here is example. Solve and graph the solution of 2x, let me see, 2x minus 6 less than 2. Okay. 2x minus 6. So 2x minus 6 less than 2. Okay. So I want to solve for this, you know, I want to solve for this. Okay. So first of all, when I solve for this, and then first of all, I would look at this like equal sign, okay? So just like we solve for, you know, linear equation, okay? So I would plus the 6 plus 6 for both, right? Just like the equality, right? Last time we talked about solve for x, and then pretty much like a solve for x, okay? So that next, that will be 2x minus 6 less than 2, right? So now we want to plus for 6 for both. All right, in that way, we can cancel this, right? -6 plus 6, which is equal to 0, right? So 2x less than 8, less than 8. All right. So now we're gonna divide it by how many? Divided by 2. Divided by 2. Do we have to switch the sign? Do we have to switch the sign? No, because we are divided by a positive, so we don't have to worry, right? So divided by 2, divided by 2, we keep the same symbol, all right? We don't flip, all right? We don't flip. And if we flip, if we divide it by a negative, then we have to flip, right? But here is a positive, so we don't have to change. It's just remain like this. So 2x divided by 2, which is x. 8 divided by 2, how many? Which is equal 4. What's the answer? Answer is x is less than 4. All right? All right. Now, how we graph this? Okay, now we answer is x less than 4. And then how we graph this on the number line. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 0, right? X less than 4, x less than 4. So we don't include in, we don't include in the 4. So all the way like this is x is less than 4. Okay. So that is the answer how we do the graph for the number line like this. Okay. Now next problem. Solve and graphs the solution of sets of 5 minus 3x less than or equal to 13 plus x. All right. All right. So now 5 minus 3x less than or equal to 13 plus x. Okay. So here we're gonna taking care of the problem just like solve for x. Right? X and y, whatever, you know, a known number one side, and then the number put on the other side. All right. So here I'll kind of I want to do the simplify this. Okay. So I want to move x over the other side. So I minus x for both. Right. So minus x. All right. 5, 3x. I minus x. Let me change another color, okay? Because I want to get rid of this minus x for both. Just you know, like equality, right? So here we can cancel this, make it as a 0, right? So we have 5 minus 4, 3x minus 3x, 3x minus x, which is equal 4x. And that's then, you know, 13. X minus x is 0, right? 13, like this, okay? So we're taking care of the x. Now next, I'm gonna taking care of the number, right? So taking care of the number, what should we do? So I'm gonna minus 5 of both, right? So minus 5, so we take a 5 minus 5, 0. So what we have, we still have a negative 4x, right? 13 minus 5, how many? That would be 8. Is that right? Is that right? All right. So now we have a negative 4x less than or equal to 8, right? And then next, we want to find out the x value, right? All right, so now here is a 4x and 8 like this. And when I want to find out the x value is, so I have to divide it by how many? I divide it by a negative 4, or got to be careful about this. When you multiply or divide it by a negative, then what should we do? We should flip the sign. The sign has to flip, right? Because divide a negative, right? So negative 4 divided by negative 4, how many? This is x. 8 divided by negative 4, how many? All right, which is negative 2, all right? Negative 2. So here will be the answer, right? X is greater than negative 2, right? Here's one more time, you know, negative 4x, okay. Okay, now the answer we finding out x is greater than -2, and on the number line we have a 0, -1, -2, -3 like this. Okay, now -2. All right, now how we graphing this? Oh, since we have a equal sign, that means -2 is covered, right? So all the way like this, that would be the answer on your graphing. All right. Does that make sense to you? All right. So make sure, if you divide a negative or you multiply a negative, and the symbol have to flip, okay? Here is another graphing linear inequality, okay? So next, I'm going to talk about graphing linear inequality, all right? Let's take a look at the problem. Here, I want to discuss how to graph y less than or equal to 3x minus 1, okay? And then I will give you 3 examples, to demonstrate, how we graph this, okay? On the graphing paper, how we doing this, all right? Let's say I want to graph y less than equal to 3x minus 1. How should we do this? Okay. Now, first of all, I will make a table, okay? So if I like to graph y less than or equal to 3x minus 1, okay? And this time, I will think about y, I will just look like the equal sign like this, Do you remember how we graph the line? Yes. We make a column, we make a table like this, all right? And we find a value. Let's say y for one column, x for one column, and y for one column, all right? I will start with a 0. 0 is always my favorite number to start with, okay? 0. So I put on a 0 there, right? So 0, then if I put on a 0 there, then how many for y? Y equals 3x minus 1, right? So therefore, we have the 3 times 0 minus 1. So therefore, I got -1. So I have a coordinate, which is 0 and -1, okay? So I got a 1 point, okay? Next, I'm gonna do, what about I pick out the number is 1, okay? X is equal 1. X is equal 1, I plug in here. Y equal 3 times 1, which is equal 3. 3 minus 1, which is equal to 4. So therefore, I got a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And then last time we talked about how many points we can determine a line. 2 points, right? 2 points we can determine a line. Now, what about if I add additional? Yes, we can add additional, like, and then to double check, The third point is double check, okay? So I double check and put on 2 for x, and y actually is 2 and 5, okay? Now we have a 0 and 1, 0 and -1 right here. And we have 1 and 2 right here, right? All right. And then we can graph the line like this, right? We graph a line like this, okay? So now we have a line like this, okay? So we have a line like this. And next, we have to test the point, all right? So once we find a line like this, then next we want to test the point. Test the point, that means that if I plug in 0, 0, if this makes sense. If I plug in 0, 0, 0, 0 is right there, right? 0, 0 right there, right? Let's say 0, 0, all right? What's a 0, 0? If x is equal, if I test this point 0, 0, I plug in 0, 0, plug in 0, 0, x is equal 0, right? X is equal 0, because our equation is what? Y less than equal to 3x minus 1, right? Now I plug in 0 there, y is equal 0. Now plug in x is equal 0, 3 times 0, minus 1, right? 3 times 0 is equal how many? It's equal 0, right? 0 minus 1 is equal how many? It's negative 1, all right? Now 0 is less than equal to, once we test the point, is true or false? No, it is false, right? 0 always greater than negative 1, right? But in this case, if I do the test point 0, 0, and I find it is a false, I find it's false, it's not true, then what should I do? I will not color the shading region for false area. So this area, I will not color, okay? I will not choose, all right? Because 0, 0, this area is a false. So therefore, I color the true region, okay? Color the true, all right? So now, final check. I have to final check. Does this line cover or not? If a line is included, then we have a solid line. If we have a, if there's no equal sign, then we will do dash line. We'll do dash line like this. Okay. Let's do another problem. Okay, more problem you get familiar with is how we do in here. Okay, so basically, first of all, find a table, find a line. This step number 1. Step number 2 is do the tester point. Test the region is true or false. If a false, we don't shade. Okay, we don't shade that region. Okay, if this is true, then we shade in that region. So we only shade in the region is true, okay? And number 3 is we want to test, and we want to double check. We want to double check is the line is included or not included. If equal sign, then no, this is included. If no equal sign, then we have a dash, okay, dash line, okay? Let's do another problem. Y less than equal to x plus 3, all right? Okay, number 1, we finding out what is the line, just like doing the line equation, okay? Graphing a line. So we make a table like this, If I plug in 0, then y is equal 3, right? If I plug in 1, x is equal 1, and y is equal 4, right? If I plug in 2, and I find y is equal 5, right? Because I have a 2 plus 3 plus 5, which equal 5. So we have a coordinate point 0, 3, 1, 4, and 2, 5, okay? Now where is 0, 3? 0, 3 right here. Where is 1, 4, 1, 4? Where is 1, 4, 1, and 4 right here? And got one more point to double check. We have 2 and 4. We have 2 and 5, 2 and 5. So we have 2, 1, and 2, 2 and 5 right here. 2 and 5 right here, right? So the first step is to find another line. Okay, this is the first step. The second step is what? Test the 0, 0. Okay, test the 0, 0, right? So 0, 0 right here, okay, and test, 0, 0. Test 0, 0 is makes sense. So test 0, 0, 0, all right. Equation y less than or equal to x plus 3. So I put on y is 0. Then I put on the x is equal 0. So therefore, 0 plus 3 is equals 3. So now 0 less than or equal to 3, true or false? Oh, it is true. Now what should we do? So now this time 2, so we shed in this region, right? The first example is false, right? We don't shed. The second example here is true. So we shed in this region, right? Now, the final check is what? Final check is we want to check the line. Is a solid line or dashed line, all right? It's solid line or dashed line, which one? Definitely, we have to choose a solid line because we have equal sign, right? So less than or equal to. So not this one, we choose this one, right? All right, one more time. To do graph y less than or equal x plus 3, first of all, we find a line, right? Find a line. The second step is we do the test point 0, 0, test point 0, 0. See if it's true, and then we plug in 0, 0 there, see if it makes sense. So therefore is 0, put y is 0 there, put in there, and the x put in there, and see if it makes sense. Oh, now we find, is it true? True. Now true, what does this mean? That means we have to shed in this region, right? If it's false, no. If false, then we stop. We choose the other region. If this is a false, then we choose this one, right? But now here is a true. So therefore, we choose this, we shed in, we color this region. We can color this region, right? And then the final check is what? Check is there an equal sign? Yes, if the equal sign, that will be the, that will be the solid line or solid line, okay? Let's do one more problem. Y less than 2x plus 3, all right? So now, again, we have to find what the line is, okay? Find wherever the line is, right? So I can start with a 0, all right? A number is easy to calculate, okay? So 0, plug in there. So I got calling it 0, 3. If I plug, if x is equal 1, then y is equal 5, right? 1, 5. If x is equal -1, then y is equal 1, right? Okay. So now we have 3 points, all right? 0, 3 right here. 1, 5, 1, 5 right here, right? And then the next step, okay. Now this is, not including the equal sign, so we have used the dash line, right? So test the 0, 0 point, 0, 0. So I plug in 0 for y, plug in 0 for x. So therefore, 0 is less than 3. 0 less than 3. Oh, test this one. This is true. True, so therefore, we color this region. If a false, we don't color. But if a true, we color, right? So now we'll color this region. Now final check is what? Is there equal sign or not equal sign? Okay, oh, there's no equal sign. So that's why we have a dashed line. Okay, does that make sense to you? Okay, kind of review one more time. Number one, if we wanna do the graphing, first of all, we find where is the line is, like make a table. Number two, we do the test point, test 0, 0, test 0, 0, and then test 0, 0, 0, we choose to which region, okay? We choose which region. We choose the 0, 0 region or not region, 0, 0 region, the other side of the region, okay? And then the final check is we check is the equal sign. If equal sign, then we will use a solid line. If there's no equal sign, then we will dash line, okay? Okay, so that's how we graph linear inequality, okay? Now, here is a problem. I have you to a word problem, okay? The word problem, take a minute. Let's read this problem. Kids have $500 in saving account at the beginning of the summer. And he wants to have at least $200 in the account by the end of summer. And he withdraws $25 each week for food, clothes, and movie ticket, right? This is like, like a real world example. Sometimes it's, you have inequality. And then a student will ask you, inequality. Is it gonna using my life? Yes. Look at this world problem. Inequality. This is a real world problem, and have students to know, how we apply for inequality. Okay. For daily life. Okay. So now, write an inequality that represents Keith's situation. All right. And how many weeks can Keith withdraw money from his account justify your answer, right? So how we write an equation like this, okay? Here is a step, okay? And actually already highlight, these important, numbers here, okay? So once you have word problem, you just highlight the keyword like this, okay? Now, let's say step 2 here, we let's say W is how many weeks, right? So we write an inequality equation like this: 500 minus 25W, all right? And then since this is at least, right? At least, so therefore we have greater or equal to, right? At least $200. So we have an equation like this. So 500 minus 25W greater than or equal to 200, right? So you can take a minute, solve for this problem, right? You take a minute, solve for this problem, and you can find, how many weeks are there, right? How many weeks are there, right? So if you solve for W, then W would be 12, okay? This is a kind of a real world example, all right? And about the inequality, right? All right, I have to stop here for today. And then if you have any questions, please email me and then I will answer you, okay? Thanks for watching and you have a great day. Bye-bye.